Hi, I'm Andrew Trendle. You're watching NME. We're here at Reading 2019 with Hobo Johnson.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Let's shake hands.
How you doing?
I don't know. It's a weird way to start.
I like it. I'm down for
How's
whatever.
your day going, man?
It's going good. I just got to the festival a little bit ago, and I'm about to watch some people play, which is cool. I'm excited to be here.
And this is your first Reading/Leeds?
Mm-hmm. Both Reading and Leeds. Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been wanting to play it since I was younger, making music, so I'm excited.
So you had awareness of its like legacy and all
Yeah,
that.
I knew it was like the biggest European festival, so I'm stoked.
So it's like sweet. So that's a long way to go. Because am I right that you started your career sleeping in a car?
Yeah, my first album. Yeah, my first album I made in there, in a '94 Corolla.
Spacious?
No, no. And I'm like kind of big. I'm like 6'2", so I'd have to sleep like sideways, like crunched up,
Yeah.
But yeah, not very spacious.
Any tips for how to sleep in a car successfully?
The best thing you could possibly do is get a hatchback, because then you could put the seats down. Anything that you could put the seats down, you could put a nice little small mattress or foam right there. So it's pretty hard to do in a sedan.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say.
And then from sleeping in a car to sleeping on a bus?
Sleeping on a car, sleeping on a bus with 12 of your friends. Yeah. It's a lot better, a lot more spacious, I'd say.
There's a pretty surreal, amazing story. Like your ascent was pretty incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
when did you notice it? Was it the tiny desk when you started to sense it?
Dude, so we were a band in Sacramento, and like no one liked us at all. Like I released my last album, no one cared really at all. So then we released this contest for NPR, which is I really love. And then out of nowhere, it just like started getting an insane amount of views, and our whole band took off, and we immediately announced a tour. And before, we couldn't even go to like San Francisco and play a show, So it's quite mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how was it when you finally birthed the rise of Hobo Johnson out to the world, having that been in your brain for so long?
Right after that, it was cool to release it, but I expected a lot more people to like it, which I think every time you release an album you do, no matter what, probably. So yeah, it was cool. Like we released it in 4 months, no one listened to it, and then right after Peach Scone, everyone went back and listened to the old stuff, and people like that too. So it worked out really well.
What they call in the industry a slow burner.
Slow burner, a slow ticker. Yeah, that's what we call that.
Ugly Kid and Typical Story.
Yeah.
Two huge tunes. I mean, how representative would you say they are of the fall of Hobo Johnson?
Dude, they're not at all, I'd say. Like, on the new album, I really wanted to make sure that every song sounded different from each other. So Typical Story and Ugly Kid are like almost opposite songs, especially, and Super Crosstrack, the last one that we just released a few days ago. They're all just, every song on it, I would say, is different from another song. So it's even releasing the singles, like they don't really represent the album very well.
Because you don't follow one genre, do you? It's a bit of a...
I try not to, especially on the last album. It was more of a mix of I definitely had a certain sound, but this album I try to make it so there's no way you could nail it down.
Yeah. How would you describe the sound of the next record if you could?
The next record? Dude, that's tough to say because Typical Story is like a rock song. Ugly Kid is like some weird jazz hip-hop song. Super Crosstrack's just like straight hip-hop. There's some rock, other rock on there. So I would just say it's alternative hip-hop rock folk.
Hop rock.
Hop rock. Folk rock. Hop.
Well, it's just a sound.
Rock.
And you also said that you wanted this record to... Right, I'm going to have to read this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
That you wanted to make sure this record makes everyone feel less alone and a little more like they want to stay alive.
On this record?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably have said that at some point in time. I mean, that's with everything I try to make, It's pretty crazy to say that you want to do that. Yeah. That's a pretty, big task. But
ended up in the press release, man. It's a good quote.
Did it? Yeah, dude. If that could happen, I would feel extremely proud of myself.
Yeah. So you consciously set out to do that. I mean, do you think that is reaching out to your listeners in that kind of way and saying you're not alone? Is that like a byproduct of what you do? Is it something you aim to do?
It's just something that it's a byproduct of what I do. But then, because at the end of the day, I really make music to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me out of whatever spot I'm in. But I've noticed that people resonate with what I say somehow.
Yeah.
So it's important that moving forward I continue to be honest in that. But I don't aim to do that really. Maybe I should, but it's pretty hard.
But in terms of the resonating thing, I mean, what do you think it is about what you do and what you say that inspires that kind of relationship and connection?
I think when you're really sad, I think in our culture, at least American culture, I don't know about here, but you don't really want to say those things because it's looked at as either weird or that you're like sensitive or almost weak in a sense. But to me, it's just how I feel, and expressing it makes me feel better. And I think other people express that through listening to it, which I think is the reason. So.
And do you have a lot of fans coming back to you and say, like, thank you for giving me this platform?
Yeah, I just did a signing session at the BBC tent thing, and people were they really like it, and they'd come up after shows and like share their appreciation, and I'm amazed, blown
But do you
away.
think that the culture's changing and it's becoming easier to say these kind of things?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that, and I hope so, but with at least with everything going on in America right now and the politics and just the political climate, it's like, it's tough to say that anything's going well or progressing because it doesn't really feel like that. But I hope so, and hopefully more artists do that, and a lot of artists do that now, but hopefully more continue to be honest and express how they feel.
So what are your plans for the rest of 2019?
The rest of 2019, I just bought a house, so I'm going to clean this dirty ass house, and then we're releasing the album. It comes out in 3 weeks, and that's going to be a mind-blowing experience. I can't believe that. And then we're going to be touring Europe and the UK, and then going to Australia and also touring in the United States. So just touring and scrubbing shit.
And I read somewhere that you were planning a musical.
Yeah, dude, thank you for asking that. So that's more of a next year thing. So I have this song on the new album called You and the Cockroach, and it's kind of what I was saying earlier. It's like I start out with like the world becoming what it is, and then amoeba turning into fish, and then fish losing their scales and getting onto the land, and then turning into human beings, and then them starting religion, starting government, and then like to now with Trump and wanting to blow up the world and him ruining fucking everything. So then nuclear war happens, and then after that there's little teeny cockroaches that are still alive after that, and then they start crawling around, they get bigger, and they lose their shells, and they start standing upright, and then they start creating these things like religion and government. It's like the world so far from in a parody way, and then the cockroaches starting their own civilization, and how history repeats itself, maybe.
All right, so it's not a utopian cockroach future.
I still haven't decided yet. It's more really depends on my view of like the world, I guess, or if it's pessimistic or not, because history does always repeat itself, and I feel like people in power it goes to their head, and whether or not that's like a human trait is kind of gonna be a weird place. We'll see. I'm not sure how the ending will.
So we're thinking like rock opera kind of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a rock opera, but I can't make that very well. So it'll be like a weird hip hop folk opera where I'll sing, and like I'll be in the crowd narrating, like talking to the crowd, and like in there, and I might shoot a film version of it too. So we'll see.
Are you gonna be in it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be narrating it,
Yeah.
like kind of from the point of God, I guess, and then it'll be playing on like The Big Bang's so interesting because how could something just happen out of nowhere like that, and like
Answers in the comments.
So like
explain.
it'll start from like edging that line between like science and God, and how he can control that, or also like trying to blend the lines so you can't really tell the difference.
Sweet.
I'm really excited about it.
A pretty fucking profound note to end on.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.